Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. For the first time ever, the statuesque and beautiful Alexis Smith is part of our Summer Under the Stars lineup here at TCM. It's been all about Alexis here since 6 a.m. Eastern this morning. Back in 1941, Alexis was a 20-year-old theater major at Los Angeles City College when Warner Brothers signed her to a contract. She went on to make 28 films for the studio, but the movie coming up next is one of the rare times Warner Brothers loaned her out to another studio. It was her first experience, actually, working away from Warner Brothers, and it wound up being the only film she ever made for the mighty MGM studios. The movie is called Any Number Can Play. It was directed by Mervyn LeRoy and stars Clark Gable as a casino owner whose wife and son, played by Alexis and Daryl Hickman, rarely see him and aren't too keen about the family business that Clark's involved in. So they're thrilled when Gable decides he owes it to his family to retire. Retirement, however, turns out to be much more complicated than he ever imagined it would be. Now, when Alexis Smith heard she'd be working at the glamorous MGM factory, she was initially thrilled about that, but in the end she found it, in her words, confining, all too pretentious, and she couldn't wait to go home to good old Warner Brothers, where everything, in her opinion, was much more down to earth, or at least as down to earth as any studio system could be. Luckily for her, while she was at MGM, her fellow Warner Brothers pal Errol Flynn was also on loan out to MGM, making a film called That Forsyth Woman with Greer Garson. So the two of them hung out together at MGM during breaks and met for lunch whenever they could, both missing the casualness and friendliness that they felt back home at Warner's. Alexis, however, was thrilled to be working with a star as big as Clark Gable was at that time. In 1949, Gable was still referred to as Hollywood's king. But here from MGM, also with Frank Morgan, Louis Stone, wonderful Mary Astor, Wendell Corey, Barry Sullivan, and Marjorie Rambeau. What a cast. From 1949, Any Number Can Play.